Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of your motivational Gen Z and Millennial Expert podcast. I am your host. My name is Dr. Jason Wiggins, and thank you for being here today. Let's get our heads right as we dial in on an important subject that is near and dear to everybody in the audience. It is the thing you might have heard of. It's called social media. Yes, I am a Generation Xer, and yes, social media is not just a buzzword for me as I grew up, but for millennials and Gen Z, it has been an important aspect your entire life. I grew up where I didn't have to worry about everybody having a phone and videotaping me and keeping some of those moments that I would have never rather shared, keep them private. But now, every opportunity to, show somebody doing something wrong, something silly, or a video they might regret later, it's out there. It's streaming somewhere. And if you've been a part of that and you've tried to scrub it clean as much as you can, then, keep trying. But the reality is once something gets out on the internet, social media, it's there for the course of time until nobody really cares about it or it doesn't pop up anymore. But today we're going to talk about social media, how we can gain from social media, which there are so many opportunities for social media to be a great part of our life, a great part of our career, and to really promote our self-growth. But at the same time, it can be a detriment. It can be a hindrance. It can be a personal and career killer. If you watch a lot of these YouTube shorts or whatever, people are saying things, they're doing things that there's going to come a point in time where they are absolutely going to regret. And that is something that they cannot change. So if you are still a young Generation Z or a millennial that has had opportunities and has not taken those opportunities up, then you made some great decisions. But what can social media do for you personally and for career growth? Well, let's talk about some of the detriments first. It's a distraction. Notifications can disrupt your focus and career objectives, your overall productivity. And that constant exposure can lead to unhealthy self-comparisons. People are like, how come I'm not like this person? Or if you go on Facebook, it talks about everything that everybody's doing great. It looks like everybody's life is perfect. You go on Twitter, people are bashing other people. They're being rude. You go to Reddit, all of these. When you think about it, yeah, you're looking for these social media sites to provide you some good content, some good subjects to help you grow. But there's so much negative out there. And think about the privacy risk. The oversharing can jeopardize your personal growth today and your professional growth tomorrow. And think about networking. It could be the greatest thing for LinkedIn networking, but those superficial connections may end up replacing those meaningful relationships, meaning you've got to pick and choose how your connections either will benefit you or they will hurt you. And the number one issue for Gen Z and millennials and now the upcoming Generation Alpha and Beta, is the anxiety that social media can cause. How many likes do I have? How many downloads do I have? How many subscribers do I have? All of these things. And then, you go to school, you hear the negative comments, but then you go home, you look on social media and you see somebody's trolling you. Think about all the anxiety and frustration and all of that internet turmoil that goes on. When I was growing up, the only thing I had to worry about is a neighborhood fight or somebody picking on me at school or something like that. But now you can't get away from it. Social media is everywhere, which is why today we are going to focus on how we can make social media positive for us versus being a time drain, using that excessive scrolling and finding things that are not productive. So we don't need distractions. We don't need to compare ourselves to other people. We need to stop oversharing and having those privacy risks. We have to network with people that are going to help us be mentees. And those things, that's what's going to help us in our life. It's going to help us be better with our mental health, and it's not going to waste our time. Those are the distractions and the negativity that you hear so much about. But we're also going to talk about the social media mistakes that harm your career. There are actually distinctive 9 social media mistakes that can hurt your career. And yes, these we have to be very, very conscious of. Number one is ignoring privacy settings. Your social media privacy settings control who can see your posts, but guess who else can see your posts? Professional recruiters, professionals. You can look up somebody's name and, within their career and what they're doing, you can see them holding a beer can. What kind of image does that stand for if I'm looking at resumes and I pop on and I see your Facebook that's not private and it shows that you have a beer in your hand and maybe you're gunshotting it? That's not going to help you at all. So and how do you fix it? You need to regularly review your privacy settings on your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook. Restrict those individuals that can see those personal photos and posts, and use a different account for professional and personal use. Number 2, lack of professional content. A lot of professionals make the mistake of using social media for personal updates without incorporating industry standards. When your post lacks professionalism, recruiters may assume you lack the expertise or the interest to be successful in their field. So how do you fix it? You want to share industry news. You want to share achievements, your employees' achievements, your colleague achievements, leadership articles. Engage with other thought leaders in your industry or other industries that really motivate you. The third one is posting controversial opinions. Guess what opinions are like? Yes, we know what they're like. Everybody has one. So quit being share professional knowledge, share industry knowledge. But because you have a political aspiration or an opinion, or you have something that's controversial, don't share it. Because guess what? If a professional or somebody that's reviewing your social media, they're going to see that. So remember, if you see something that you don't like, even if you delete it later, it's there forever. So before you post, think long and hard. Is this something that I'm going to regret down the road? If you have a debate with somebody, you don't like what they're saying and they don't like what you're saying, and you guys go back and forth, and then somebody sees that, not a good look. So be respectful when you're engaging in discussions. And then keep a private account where only your true friends and families can see it. Utilize social media etiquette. Use the professional online essence. Number 4 is neglecting to proofread. This is huge. If you post a thought or something that you think is going to be something good and you post it and it shows you have a lot of grammatical errors, or you didn't proofread, or you use too much slang or inappropriate language or something like that, it's going to put you in a negative light. And professionals will see that. Since I have a doctorate degree, I have to be very careful about how I talk, how I write. I have to always critique, is this the professional standard that I want to share with everyone? If it's not, then I need to proofread it and correct it before I put it out on social media. Number 5, oversharing personal details. Avoid oversharing sensitive information. This information can not only hurt you in the professional world, but personally. People can steal your identification, your phone number, your financial details. You want to maintain a balance between personal and professional conduct. Number 6, inconsistent professional presence. Having an outdated LinkedIn or incomplete profile, then recruiters can overlook. But this is very important. If you take anything out from this podcast, the number one thing you need to note is if you update your Indeed account, if you're looking for jobs, everybody will see it. It's key, just like your LinkedIn. But your LinkedIn, nobody can see that you updated it. But social media is also part of looking for jobs. If you're looking for jobs on Indeed or some of those other sites, keep in mind that your employer might be able to see it as well. Which is why if you're going to do it and you're not happy and you've shared with your employer that you're not happy and that you're looking for opportunities to get to the next level, or you're looking for an increase in pay. Be transparent with them within reason. But if you're not getting what you need and you need to get it elsewhere, then you can utilize those online job platforms. But again, they can see your, what you're doing. So be very careful. If you, like anything like your personal private life, you'll want to make that private too. So it's about privacy, keeping your personal life private. And if you don't want your employer to see, then make sure your job search and all of that is private as well. But again, you want to make sure that you optimize your LinkedIn profile to show the best side of you. Don't have some old picture that isn't you, or unprofessional picture, with you at the back of a party scene. You want to make sure you're utilizing your LinkedIn for personal branding. This will help you be successful during the job hunt. Number 7, ignoring LinkedIn etiquette. Yes, don't misuse it for spammy connection requests. Don't over promote yourself. Don't keep sending out promotional opportunities, because people will not like that. You want to make sure whatever you're posting is meaningful, helpful, and that you are not only looking out for yourself, but you're looking out for others. So personalized connection requests. Engage with posts in a meaningful way rather than just liking them, and avoid sending out mass messages that, people just get inundated with, that you don't blah, blah, blah. That's all they hear is blah, blah, blah. Social media, there's so much of it out there that if you don't make yourself relevant quickly, people will get burned out of listening to you quicker than you can realize. And one of my favorites, but don't continue to do it, is self-promotion. While sharing achievements is important, constantly bragging about what you're doing, how you're making an impact, how people like you, how your job is so satisfying, and all of these self-promotions, they're going to hurt the content that you promote. Utilize value-driven content, which should be 80% about how you're helping others, and only 20% of self-promotion. Share with others, engage with others, be a thought leader, be somebody relevant within your community, where you engage the most, where you are an expert in what you do. Utilize that strategy. Utilize LinkedIn engagement. Make sure you optimize your personal branding, but do it in the right way. The number 9 is something we don't think about a lot, but again, these are the top 9 social media mistakes that will hurt your career. And number 9 is very important: not engaging with others. So what is social media? It's about networking. Networking in a positive way, where you are going to be able to interact with other thought leaders, other career-oriented individuals. You want to share and engage with their posts. You want to join relevant industries. Utilize that engagement. Utilize networking, and utilize this for your career opportunities. Social media, as I mentioned earlier, can be a detriment. It can be something that can really be a career killer. If people catch certain things you did when you were younger and you don't want people to see that, all it takes is a recruiter, a leader, HR, manager, somebody to see that. And it could not only hurt the opportunity to get the job, but it can hurt the opportunity to keep your job. So that is why do not make these career killer type of mistakes. So don't take a video shot of somebody asking you video questions about how many have you done this? What have you done this? What's the craziest thing you've done? All of these things. You see a lot of Gen Zers doing that. And now even some Generation Alpha. And they have no idea that anything you say or do can continue to be heard and will go against you at any point in time for the rest of your life. Again, being Generation X, I didn't have to grow up in that. I grew up in a time where I didn't have to worry about a camera at every corner, everybody doing video footage of anything and everything I'm doing. Because I can tell you, if they did, I would not be where I am today, because those things would have came back and haunted me. I had enough failures, trials, and tribulations without being observed by others on camera and then being replayed on social media. That is why crime doesn't pay, but neither does social media. So think twice before you do something that you might regret. This podcast is about helping Generation Z and millennials. You have the opportunity to be great. So don't let these 9 career killers impact you. Lack of professional content is noted. Ignoring privacy settings. You don't need everybody to see everything you're doing. Number 3, oversharing personal details. That goes without saying. Number 4 is one that's really important to me, is making sure that you are not neglecting to proofread. When you neglect to proofread, that can make you look like you don't know what you're doing. Number 5 is a good one as well. Basically, number 5 is posting controversial opinions. You know what? Everybody has them, and it doesn't mean they're wrong. That's why they're called personal opinions. Number 6, inconsistent professional presence. Keep everything updated. Show consistent growth. Ensure your job title and your experience matches all your profiles. Your LinkedIn should match your resume. So if somebody's looking at your resume and they're looking at your LinkedIn and go, wait a minute, you didn't work for this job this long. Your title was director, not manager, or vice versa. And number 7, ignoring LinkedIn etiquette. Remember, personalize your connection requests. Engage. Avoid mass messages. Number 8, excessive self-promotion. Remember, 80% value-driven content and 20% self-promotion. And number 9, not engaging with others. When you don't engage with others, it shows that you only care about yourself. You want to provide content that somebody else will learn from. So today, what have we gone through? We have gone through how social media can be a distraction. It can be time consuming, but it can be something amazing towards your career. And the one thing that comes out of social media that will highlight you without costing you a lot of money, as long as you put the time and effort into it and keeping your personal branding at the level you want, is continuing to promote your brand. Promote your brand. I enjoy doing these podcasts. I love it. I wrote my book that I'm very, very excited about always sharing, which is Millennial Leadership, and I love the content of this book. And so please feel free to, if you want to grab a copy, it's that you go to your nearest Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's Millennial Leadership by Dr. Jason Wiggins, and it provides tips on how to recruit, maintain, and promote millennials, within the workforce. So again, I want to thank everyone for your continued listenership. I can see that you have been sharing the podcast, and I enjoy it. I'm going to plan on doing one once a week now. I think I've been about once a month, but I want to continue to provide content that will be helpful, that will help you in your career growth, personal growth, and really identify with. This podcast is for Gen Zs and millennials to help you continue to strive while we can still get benefits as Generation Xers, I am one, and baby boomers. But again, number 1 top podcast for Generation Z podcasts out there. So again, feel free to look online. We are rated the number 1 on Gen Z podcasts and number 2 for Millennial podcasts. So again, thank you for the continued listenership. Continue to promote the podcast. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And thank you very much. So until next time, friends, take care. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.